Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining. I've been watching cooking videos on YouTube for years, and I finally decided, hey, I can do that. And at the same time, I can also answer the number one question in my house every day: Dad, what's for dinner?
Okay, everybody, thanks for joining. Had a little bit of problem with our camera here this afternoon, so I'll take you to the top view and walk you through what we're doing. In the beginning here, we just need to start making our dough for the pizza. We're going to start that off by adding our yeast to our water. You want that water to be no more than 115 degrees in temp, but somewhere between 100 and 115. So just throw that yeast in there, add the sugar, and then give it a stir to kind of dissolve and incorporate everything and just let it stand on its own for about 5 minutes. I'll add the oil after it's done blooming. Now go back to your bowl with your flour and add your salt and just throw that into the mixer and just give it a little mix just to get the salt incorporated into the dough. Okay, now that our yeast is bloomed, I'll go ahead and grab that oil, add it, mix it around a little bit just to try and incorporate everything, but you don't need to really work too hard on this at this point. And then kind of once everything's together, you've got all your oil in there, just go ahead and dump that water into your flour and salt and start it mixing. Okay, after your dough's mixed, let it knead the dough for about 10 minutes. Once that's all done, you can just get your bowl and your dough paddle or dough hook off the mixer. Just kind of get the dough ball out. It should be tacky, but not stick to your hands if it's had enough work and it's toughened up a little bit. So just kind of scrape around the edges, get that out onto your work surface. And at this point, I like to go and just kind of make this into a tight ball. Add a little oil to my glass container that it's going to proof in, um, and then tighten that dough ball up and put it in that bowl seam side down. You'll want to let this do its first rise for about an hour. Someplace warm, throw a towel over the top of it. I actually have a proofing setting on my oven, so I just use that and let the oven do all the work for me. But that's it. Essentially, at this point, the hardest part's over. The dough's made, and we're ready to see what it looks like in an hour.
All right, my dough has been rising for about an hour. It's gotten maybe about twice its size. Now, I want to do is get it out of the bowl that it was resting in, and I'm going to break it down, like I said, into four other dough balls to use for actually making pizza. So what I'll start by doing is weigh the whole thing. It's 1,184 grams. And then my target is about 400-gram dough balls. All right, there's one. Once you get it to the weight that you want, bring it all together, seal the seam on the bottom. I roll it into a little ball, and then these will rest again. They need to rise just a little bit more, maybe about a half hour if you want to use them right away. You can put these in the refrigerator. They can stay there up to 3 days. Or what I'm going to do tonight is I'm actually going to freeze these dough balls because I made some other ones tomorrow. So let me finish portioning out the rest of this and then we'll get to making the pizza. Okay, I've got my dough balls here that I made yesterday. So I'm just going to quickly pop one out. A little bit of flour here on my work surface. Flour on the top, and now we're just going to make this into our pizzas. This dough's been sitting out for about an hour and a half. Just let it kind of come up to room temperature and it'll stretch a little better. Just looking to get it about 10 to 12 inches in size. Okay, I like to cook mine also on a screen. I think it makes it a little bit easier. Now, during the summer, I would do this in my pizza oven out on the back deck, but because it's still wintertime and it's cold today, we're just going to do this in the oven. I've got it preheating to 550 degrees. It's important to kind of get the oven up to that temperature, let it sit there for a while so it really gets hot in there before you put your pizza in, and it'll probably take 10 to 12 minutes to cook these. I also made some pizza sauce yesterday, so we'll just get this kind of dressed up. You can decide how much sauce you want on your pizza. This is just a mix of mozzarella and Monterey Jack that I shredded up yesterday also just to be ready. So just kind of layer this on how you want it. With Parmesan cheese mixed in there. Then I know for my daughter, she wanted a pepperoni pizza tonight, so we'll just throw those on. Just throw a little bit more on the top. Okay, and that's it. Hard part's done. Now we just have to get it in the oven about 10 minutes, and we'll bring you back to close things off. Okay, after about 10 minutes, just pulled my pizza out of the oven here. We'll just slice it up. Put it on the tray. And there you have it. Homemade pizza, homemade dough, homemade sauce. Real quick, easy. Don't be intimidated by it. And that's my answer to, Dad, What's for dinner tonight? Thanks for watching.